Sri Guru Charitra, Chapter 3. Sri Ganeshaya Namaha, Sri Saraswatyai Namaha, Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Now I wish to know why Sri Guru, who is Parabrahman, the Absolute, has taken birth as human being on earth, said Namadharaka. Son, you are blessed indeed. God's grace is on you. That is why your son strongly impelled to know about him. As Lord Vishnu gave himself up completely, the sage named Brahma, who was charming as Chandra, infant Shiva as Durvasa, and Vishnu as Datta. The children of Atri are called Atreyas. Thus, in order to denote the Datta was his son, he came to be called as Dattatreya. He is indeed the Supreme Lord himself, the goal of Vedas. He is of the nature of reality, awareness, bliss. He is the master of yoga and wisdom, the wish fulfiller of his devotees, and is ever ready to bless them at their mere thought of him. He wanders all over the creation. Durvasa was choleric in temperament, still he blesses others. Chandra sustains the worlds. The Supreme Spirit, henceforth known as Dattatreya, is indeed unbound by phenomenal existence, yet, in deference to a curse laid on him once by sage Durvasa, he ever abides on earth, assuming different human forms. This he does out of compassion for the creatures on earth and for the gods. There were avatars of the Lord earlier too, but all of them, after completing their mission, left off those forms and returned to their one essence. In order to bless his devotees, the Lord had incarnated as Lord Dattatreya, yet he did not, like the other avatars, leave the earthly plane of existence after accomplishing his divine mission. I shall illustrate the difference. The incarnation of Sri Rama was intended for the destruction of the demon King Ravana. The avatar of Sri Krishna was intended for the annihilation of King Duryodhana and his wicked train. So, after the completion of those missions, Sri Rama and Sri Krishna had cast off their physical bodies and left for their heavenly abode. But the avatar of Dattatreya was intended for the welfare of all creatures. As this mission has to be carried out as long as creation exists, he does not lay down his body and leave for his heavenly realm, but goes on wandering from place to place. Thus, Dattatreya is the eternal avatar of God's spirit of self-dedication to the salvation of all creatures. He manifests himself perennially at the perfect saints of all religions of the world. As Siddha thus went on, enumerating the unique features of the avatar of Datta, Namdharaka expressed one of his doubts thus: Sir, Durvasa, by laying a curse on Dattatreya, has indeed done immense good to all creatures. If he was not cursed to wander about for the welfare of all, Lord Datta too would have laid down his physical body like the other avatars after the fulfillment of his limited mission. But tell me, why at all Durvasa cursed him? Besides, how could the curse affect him who is ever above all manifestation? Siddha replied, Son, the Supreme Lord is indeed ever unmanifest, but when invoked by the power of devotion of the faithful ones, he manifests himself on earth out of compassion for them. He is full of the spirit of endurance. Durvasa once cursed King Ambarisha, who was a devotee of Vishnu. Then Dattatreya requested Durvasa to transfer the curse to him, as he has pledged to take over himself the sufferings of his devotees. Durvasa did so, and thereby curse accrued to Vishnu, who manifested himself as Dattatreya. I shall recount the details of the story. Long ago, there was a king named Ambarisha who honored his guests as the veritable forms of Lord Vishnu. He scrupulously observed the vow of Ekadashi, the 11th lunar day from either full or new moon day. The vow consists of fasting on Ekadashi and breaking the fast before the noon on the next day of Dvadashi, the 12th day. Once sage Durvasa wanted to test the righteousness of Ambarisha and arrived at his place with a large retinue of disciples on the morning of Dvadashi and demanded food for all of them. Ambarisha happily invited them all for lunch. Durvasa then went to the river for ablutions and deliberately delayed his return to catch the king in the horns of dilemma. If, in order to fulfill his vow, he were to break his fast without waiting for the guest, it would amount to disrespecting the latter according to the religion's law. As a way out of the dilemma, Ambarisha sipped a little holy water, tirtha, for the act may be interpreted as breaking the fast without insulting the guest. The next minute, Durvasa arrived and was wild with rage. He said, as per the letter of the holy law, you have taken the holy water as food, leaving us, the holy guest, and cursed Ambarisha thus, may you, in every one of your births, wander about without an abode. The correlation between the curse and the error committed to deserve it is that Ambarisha could not await in patience the arrival of the guest, and the curse ordains that its victim should likewise be deprived of any stability and comfort in all his future births. Ambarisha, being an ardent devotee of Lord Vishnu, the latter appeared on the scene and said, O Durvasa, you being a great rishi, your curse cannot go in vain, but my devotee Ambarisha cannot stand it either, and it is my promise that I bear the burden of my faithful. You modify the curse so that I could suffer it in his stead. Durvasa pondered for a while. This Lord Vishnu is not easily accessible to devotees on earth. Hence it is for the good of all if he, instead of Ambarisha, should wander about this earth. So he modified his curse accordingly. It is for this reason that the Lord Vishnu, as Dattatreya, has been wandering about in different forms all over this earth. The same Lord, as described in the Puranas, manifested himself earlier as the divine fish, the divine tortoise, and others. Even this age of Kali, he manifested himself twice. Even though these two avatars cannot be seen by the naked eyes of ordinary mortals in this wicked age, they respond to the call of devotees even today. In this age of Kali, even the good which is conceived of in the mind bears fruit within a limited time, whereas in the case of sin, only when it is acted upon does it produce its fruit. It is only because in the age of Kali this facility exists that the Lord did not prevent the spirit of Kali from manifesting himself on earth. How blessed are those, O Namadharika, who lived in a virtuous manner without allowing even a single evil thought even in this Kali age. Sri Dattaya Gurave Namaha, Sri Sripada Vallabha Sri Vallabhayai Namaha, Sri Nrsimha Saraswatyai Namaha.